Welcome back in, family. Now, the unanimous best receiver in football, Davante Adams. Remember, he was traded from the Packers to, not traded, he was moved from the Packers to the Raiders this offseason. $141 million is what he signed for, coming off 2 All-Pro seasons, 5 straight Pro Bowls. But he is struggling right now, and the Raiders are winless. Davante has some words for y'all, America. Davante, speak up.
All the Green Bay people will definitely still be on that and talk about, try to compare the stats and all of that, but we're not doing this thing for stats at the end of the day. And obviously, we played professional ball together, Aaron and I, longer than what me and Derek have. So, we found times to, and it kind of was a little bit more gradual than what this was. We jumped straight into the fire, had a few one-on-one opportunities in the first week and got 17 targets. So now people are changing that up, obviously, and, we got to change some stuff up too.
Packers traded Adam for that second-round pick. Shady, I'm coming to you first and foremost for this simple reason. We're not doing this thing for stats. That sounds like somebody who ain't got no stats.
Nah, I get what he's saying. Like, he wants to win games, and it's new, right? Him and Carr together is a new thing. They haven't played together since, 2013? We were in college, so it takes time. He talked about him and Aaron Rodgers, where they clicked. It took some time for them to click, so it's just a matter of time. I mean, his stats will come. We still think that he's probably the best wide receiver in football, so it just takes time.
But what about the fact that it didn't take time for Tyreek Hill? Ain't taking him no time.
That's not true. It took him some time.
He's busy right now. Well, I'm saying with Mike McCoy on the Dolphins. He getting busy with you.
Everything is different. Every situation is different. Every team is different.
Dave, you're raising your eyebrows.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill had 2 catches for 33 yards the other day.
He's top 5 in receiving yards.
Davante Adams is not struggling. This is what I hate about fantasy football, and I like fantasy football. That's the only reason we're doing this. My guys, Davante Adams is on pace for 1,000 yards and 17 touchdowns. He's scored every week of the season. The only reason this is a conversation is because he was drafted high in fantasy leagues, and people expect him to go for 100 and a touchdown every week.
But I don't know if that's fully true. Joy, I'm going to get you in here to weigh in, but I was doing the calculations and tabulations myself. Davante has never had less than 100 yards cumulative in a 2-week stretch, dating back to 20 God knows when. So I think it would be a little bit of a lie to say that he's not struggling. He got 189 yards through 3 weeks. That's 1 week for him and Aaron Rodgers.
He's on a new team with a new quarterback. And also, like he said, Davante Adams is a great interview. He said it right there. He was like, I went off for 10 catches. Read his stats from week 1. They were nuts.
They were berserk.
Recency bias, by the way. After week 1, the graphics were going that said Davante Adams had more yards and catches than anybody on Green Bay's entire roster, because he did.
Right.
Get out of here with this crap.
Dave is right. It's a poison, fantasy football. We love it. It's one of my favorite poisons. I do it every But it's true. I mean, I have Davante Adams, so I feel your frustration if you have Davante Adams, but it's going to be fine. It is going to work out. They need more time together. I am not concerned about Davante Adams as much as I'm concerned as the whole rest of this Raiders team. Right. They need a win. They need a dub more than they need Davante Adams to be the reason why that they're winning. They have other pieces there that should be contributing as well. And it's looking bleak very early for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Davante Adams, Derek Carr, they need more time together. 2 people who need less time together, Jimmy G and Trey Lance. Why in the world are they still on the same roster? Anyway, they are. Now, Trey Lance, he's out for the year with the thumb injury. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's in. He's a starter. 49ers legend, Hall of Famer Steve Young. He doesn't want to hear about fans that are rooting for one quarterback over another, saying, quote, when you got the red and gold on, that's those Niners colors, stop. We're in this together. I don't know if this is a High School Musical. We're all in this. Yeah. Anyway, I don't get it. And in all honesty, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And here is why, Joy. It's not real. Sports is a zero-sum game. Winners create losers. Losers create winners. Starters get 8 reps in practice in 1 period session. Backups get 4 in a 12-minute period session. There is not equality in sports. One team wins the Super Bowl, gets confetti. The other is ushered off the field before the confetti falls. It's not equality. There isn't parity as much as we want there to be. It just doesn't exist. So root for the guys equally. That sounds great on a Hallmark card. But the 49ers don't hand out Hallmark cards. They hand out checks every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So I don't love what Steve Young is saying because I just don't think it's realistic. But where do you stand on it?
Well, you also left out that there's no loyalty in professional sports. Really in all sports, because He's kind of professional now as well.
True.
But there's definitely no loyalty in professional sports because it's what people do for a living. So that removes that ability. There's no loyalty in business. It's just they don't go hand in hand. But the one place where it always needs to be encouraged, and it does exist, is with the fans. So you actually flipped me on my opinion because now I am on Steve's side because if he's speaking specifically to Niners fans, I get what he's saying because fans are supposed to be loyal. Supposed to be blindly loyal to the team, to everyone on the team, to support the team, support the players, and then obviously have their opinions and can have their disagreements with what the team is doing. But to be loyal to Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo or want those things is not really helping the team. It's not really changing anything because the organization is going to do what they want to do with Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo and his contract are going to affect things. Trey Lance and his 3 first-round picks to use to get him is going to affect things. And they're going to be in the same conversation at the end of this year, regardless of how this year goes, unless Jimmy Garoppolo wins a Super Bowl. So when he's speaking to fans, this is actually accurate. Fans should be loyal.
Shady, where you stand on it?
I agree with Joey. I think that the fans are going to be the fans. For example, right? If you trade a player, now it's another team. That franchise will always be that franchise, the 49ers. And Steve Young is talking from a place of experience. He went through this with Joe Montana. And there were some people that wanted Joe to stay, and some people that wanted Steve Young to be the guy. But a quarterback needs the fans to support him because you don't know how it affect the players. You don't know how it affect the team. Now this guy is a quarterback. He's going through his mental like, oh, the fans don't want me playing quarterback. It's extra pressure that he can't handle it. Every quarterback is different, So I just think that he was right about, listen, this is our guy. This is our franchise quarterback. Support him. Because if not, he may lose games because of the pressure. You never know how it affects you.
Dave, final thought.
He's 100% right. It's just, it's naive, right? I mean, like, it's too idealistic to be true. Because at the end of the day, what does everyone love? Fans, but everyone. We love being right. You want to be right. And that's what creates these divisions. It's like, people think that Trey Lance can reach this ceiling, and we've seen what Jimmy can do. We're not going to do any better than losing a Super Bowl with Jimmy. And the pain of those losses drives all of this decision-making. You see it every year with teams that are, quote-unquote, tanking. You wind up with a section of your fan base that is passionately rooting for you to lose games because they're convinced that's the best way forward. It just is what it is. I don't think it's realistic to expect blind support all of the time with what is at stake in the mind and the heart of a fan, which is like, I need that dopamine of winning so badly that I will talk myself into weird situations to get there. It's just, it's correct. It's just not realistic.
I don't know if I need to be right more than I need my team to win. Yeah. Like, I'm willing to be wrong about something if it means my team is winning.
Once you have won, though, once you have reached the end goal, if they win the Super Bowl, then every Niner fan that was against Jimmy was like, I'm sorry, Jimmy, I doubted you. But if they don't get there, then they go, I was right. We were never going to do this with Jimmy. Yeah. It's just the way it works.
I wish I was a fan like you, bro. I feel like you live the epitome of fan.
Come watch LSU football with me. That's what it's like. And I mean, it's great, but it can be toxic. It can definitely be toxic. There's no doubt about that.
Coming up,
subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.